Hi there and welcome to another great Norton adventure. This video is all about Exmouth, Western Australia, the gateway to the Ningaloo Coast. But we dig deeper and are amazed at the town's unique history. Join us to learn how Exmouth came to be the town that it is today. The town of Exmouth is a popular tourist destination as it is a gateway to the Ningaloo coastline. But did you know the town was founded less than 60 years ago and it had nothing to do with tourism? After the bombing of Darwin in World War II, the American Navy chose the Exmouth Gulf as a submarines operations base. They thought that it was out of the reach of the Japanese bombers, although the area would be bombed a number of times over the coming years. It was named Operation Potshot. The area was also used by an Allied Special Forces unit known as the Z Special Unit. It was the final staging area for one of the most daring and successful commando raids of World War II, known as Operation Jaywick. The commandos set off on a fishing vessel named the Crepe. They were disguised as Asian fishermen and made their way to Singapore Harbour, where they attached explosives to Japanese Navy vessels. 6 enemy ships suffered major damage, all were sunk. After the war, the submarine base was closed and all that remained was an Australian Air Force runway. It wasn't until the 1960s that the Australian government allowed the US Navy to build a long-range communications base on the Exmouth Peninsula. A Navy base was formed and a small housing community was built within it for the Navy personnel and their families. Australian civilians moved to the area with opportunities for work and the town of Exmouth was founded in 1967. The small town within the base was very much a typical American town. It had American takeaways, a bowling alley, as well as a baseball field. They even brought with them American cars and held 4th of July celebrations with the Australians. It was a strange mix of the American culture in outback Australia. As you drive out along the Exmouth Peninsula, it doesn't take long before you notice the 13 radio towers soaring above the earth, connected by a cobweb of wires to form a very low frequency radio transmitter. The central tower stands at 387 metres. That's 57 metres taller than the Eiffel Tower. The communications base was developed for long-range communication with submarines and is still in use today, although it's now operated by the Australian Navy. The 13 towers are a sight to behold and their true scale cannot be appreciated until you're up close to them. If you zoom in on Google Maps, it looks like some sort of strange pattern on the ground that was created by aliens. Slowly with time, Exmouth evolved into the tourist hub that it is today. It is a well-serviced and thriving town that is the gateway to some of the most incredible coastline in the world. Lots of parking for vans.
It's very van friendly here
Van friendly.
at Exmouth.
The big prawn, not the Ballina one, the Exmouth one. I reckon the Ballina one's got him. Walk over there so we can get a size comparison. Yep. Ballina's got it by a couple of 100 feet. A must visit is the Ningaloo Centre in Exmouth. It's the information centre, but it's also an aquarium of local reef fish, and it has a display that explains the history of the area all the way from the local indigenous people through to the American history that formed the town as we know it now. And did you also know that the coastline between Exmouth and Broome is one of the most cyclone-prone areas in Australia? Cyclone Vance hit the town of Exmouth in 1999 and is one of the most destructive cyclones to hit the mainland of Australia. With winds reaching up to 267 km an hour, over 70% of the buildings sustained major damage. We are so blessed to have some amazing friends. A massive shout out to Sammy Neckers, who gave us a gift voucher for Ningaloo glass bottom boats as a going away present. Then Kylie's team at work, Multitask Lismore, thought it was a great idea, so they added to it as well. This took us on an experience that we may not have considered. We learnt so much about the reef and marine life, but we also learnt so much about the history of the area. This is what inspired us to make the video that we have. In all our research, we only thought of Exmouth as a place to prepare for the beach camps and whale shark tours. But there's so much more to Exmouth, and it is a place so rich in Australian history. If you're in the area, there's so many tour operators to choose from, but we can't go past recommending the guys at the Ningaloo glass bottom boats. There are two amazing places to watch the sunset just south of Exmouth, and they are both in the Cape Range National Park: Charles Knife Canyon and Shote Canyon. It was our last night, so we had to choose one. We went out to Shote Canyon. The tracks were closed due to recent fires, so there wasn't access to the lookout, but luckily we had the drone and we could see the spectacular sights from the ground. Friends have been to both, and they say that Charles Knife has the better outlook. Looks like we have a reason to come back. Well, that's it for this episode. It wasn't the usual for such a popular tourist location, but we hope you enjoyed seeing it in a different side. Join us next week when we tick off Craig's bucket list and swim with a giant fish and find another stunning beachfront location. See you then.